Crazy. Can you hear me? Give me a thumbs up. I love going live. Okay. I'm going to take you back. I'm going to take you back. So, yes, you can hear me. Brilliant. I'm going to take you back. Okay, so the top stories. We're talking about Hamilton from hero to zero. We're talking about McLaren. We're talking about Laurent Mekies. And I'm going to take you straight through to that first story of Lewis Hamilton. I'm so sorry you couldn't hear me. So, Hamilton... His Ferrari future looked in doubt today. He came in today off the back of a terrible qualifying performance, a terrible sprint performance, moaning about his team, moaning about the rear suspension upgrade, obviously moaning at the reporter who was asking about the test in Mugello. It wasn't a test, it was a filming day, and he told the journalist there's been no improvement to the car. Thank you for sticking with me. I'm glad you can hear me loud and clear now. So yeah, he said there was no improvement to the car. He publicly slated the team. He publicly slated the new suspension. And in Q1, he put the car out in Q1 P18 because his P7 performance, he exceeded the track limits and he had that lap time revoked. Frosty exchanges with him and the team, frosty exchanges with him and his engineer. Whilst Leclerc was P4 in the sprint, he put the Ferrari P3 in qualifying and he said the car has been improved with rear suspension upgrades. So in qualifying, two drivers, two completely different experiences of the same car. The team is split. Hamilton is rocking the Ferrari boat. Who was right? What does it mean for the team and the driver? Well, this is where it gets interesting because in the race, Hamilton starts P18, Leclerc P3, and the race is a rolling start behind the safety car on a wet track. Now, we all know Hamilton is a wet weather genius, but what can he do from P18 and what can Leclerc do from P3? The outcome is this. Driver of the day, Lewis Hamilton. He is on fire. You know, Hamilton in the racing laps, passing cars for fun in the wet, showing the vintage Hamilton that we know and love in that wet race. Now, within 2 laps, he is P13, and this is where the entire thing changes. He's the first to pit to change to slicks. It's a brave and bold move, and the correct move. He jumps places, and then he comes back out on the track. He's the first to get his tyres to racing temperature. He passes the Racing Bulls, and he finds himself in P7. And he holds P7 until the checkered flag. That's P18 to P7. 0 to hero. Absolutely, Lewis is on fire and totally deserves driver of the day. But did he do enough to redeem himself? Is the performance enough to make up for the mistakes and his comments about the upgrades and the team? He did credit the team for the strategy on his radio at the end of the race. He gave the team the credit and he also apologised for losing points. And we do know, really, it is ultimately the driver's decision to say, yeah, I can go on to slicks. I can do this on slicks. So he is being gracious. He is trying to win some brownie points back at that team because they are back to work tomorrow. It's Hungary next weekend. So, absolutely well-deserved. Lewis Hamilton, driver of the day. And a special mention has to go to Charles Leclerc. Stellar qualifying performance, P3, holding P3 with Max on his gearbox. A great drive, well-deserved podium. He was actually a contender for driver of the day. I mean, he had to be, but today it was Lewis's day without a shadow of a doubt. P18 to P7, but definitely honourable mention for Charles Leclerc. Next story. We're talking about Laurent Mekies. Did he make an impact? It's his first weekend as the Red Bull boss. Could he make an impact on Yuki? Could he fill those big shoes left from the Horner sacking? So we need to talk about the decisions he's made and their impact on the weekend. Because Yuki's been underperforming, Max is unhappy, they don't have a winning car, it's drama all the way. All of that considered, has Mekies put them back on track? Has he done anything to help retain the services of Max? And did he get Yuki performing? Because obviously Yuki's confidence was in the gutter. A leaked document from Red Bull said Yuki would definitely be out of the team in 2026. He wouldn't even be in the 2026 Racing Bulls team because Lindblad would be in. So then you got Yuki thinking, well, I've got 12 races, a window to prove I deserve a seat in Formula One. And really 12 races to prove that he deserves a Red Bull seat. What's the outcome of Mekies' decisions this weekend, along with Alan Permain's, to be fair? So the Red Bull cars both through to Q3, and both of the Racing Bulls into Q3. Yuki has a great qualifying performance and gets it to P7. Lawson P9, Hadjar P8, Max P4. And he also made a key decision before qualifying. That key decision that Mekies made before qualifying was to get Yuki's car improved with the new floor. Max's car already had the upgrade. Yuki's performance in the sprint qualifying was not good. And Mekies made the decision, get the new floor on Yuki's car before race qualifying. And look at that, it was a good decision. Yuki improves his qualifying performance to P7. However, the pit strategy for Yuki was wrong and it cost him, I would say, 5 places. Max qualified P4, ended P4. Hadjar qualified P8, ended P20. But Lawson finished the race in P8. So we need to give Lawson a special mention because Lawson's performances have been improving. And you remember what's happened to him. After Horner dropped him from the Red Bull seat, rightly so with the performances, confidence shattered, really on the floor, we now see Lawson bring in some fire and scoring points, being consistent, challenging Hadjar, not much in it. They are quite competitive together. So a special shout out to Lawson with a solid performance. And I think we have to say it's a mixed bag for Mekies for his first Grand Prix. A mixed bag. But some good decisions, some bad decisions. But overall, I'd say for his first weekend, Grand Prix weekend in charge, he's done okay. He's done okay. Let's see what happens next weekend at Hungary. But we have to talk about McLaren. We have to talk about race winner Oscar Piastri. So let's talk about what he did in the race. He dominated from start to finish after passing Lando. Because Lando, remember, he qualified P1. And actually, Oscar, the entire weekend, I believe, was the better driver. He performed better in the sprint race. He outperformed Lando in the qualifying for the sprint race and in FP1. The two cars were running two different rear suspension setups, but both cars were running the upgraded floor. I was wondering actually, because when Lando qualified P1, I was wondering whether Oscar had made the right choice not having the revised suspension. He stuck with the old setup and Lando looked to find some qualifying performance. However, in the race, it was a different story. Oscar passed Lando, and then, honestly, Lando did not get close. There was a constant gap, 2 seconds and 4 seconds and 8 seconds. A little bit of pit strategy came into it, but Oscar extended his lead over Lando in the driver championship to 16 points. Now, I do feel these two are closely matched. But I do think there's something special about Piastri, and I do believe he will be a multiple world champion. Honestly, mark my words. Let me know what you think in the chat window. But yeah, I do think Piastri is looking stronger and stronger weekend after weekend. But tell me what you think in the chat. I'm sorry that you got no audio at the beginning of that. Hopefully I covered all the all the right news with audio. Thank you so much for watching F1 Grandstand. Please like, comment, join the community, subscribe and hit the bell so you can keep up to date. Thank you to all of you that joined me for the Belgium GP watch-alongs. We're going to do the same again next weekend for Hungary. I'll be back tomorrow with some more news at 7:30. Ta-ta.